Greetings YouTube! Welcome back to the channel, and in today's video I take you through the unboxing and installation of a 300mm stainless steel exhaust, traditionally styled, loosely based on designs copied throughout the industry made famous by Yoshimura. What inspired me to make this video was the desire to boost the power of this little 350, having success with the DNA air filter, and enhance the sound a little further still, and even save a little weight. The other thing that inspired me was Stuart Fillingham's excellent series of videos on his channel related to the GB350S and his Yoshimura exhaust. I reached out to Black Widow, and the net effect of that was that they had sent me not one, but 6 different exhausts at no cost to allow me to make my selection and test the other 5. I will do additional videos about these other exhausts in the future. If this video content is interesting to you and you are open-minded about this subject, then this video is for you. If you have strong feelings about the aesthetics and designs that are a personal choice and may find the video not to your liking, or my choice, then feel free to navigate away. I chose Black Widow for several reasons. Those being: 1. They are a UK-based company, and especially at this time, that means a lot to me. And 2. In their excellent catalogue and website, they have several exhausts that faithfully reproduce a reasonably accurate rendition of the traditional 80s exhaust that I was looking for in stainless steel. And 3. Their prices are simply unbeatable for a UK-based handmade exhaust. 4. They use the best materials like 304 grade stainless steel and 3K weave carbon fibre, and lastly, unlimited 2-year warranty. When I was planning this video, I knew that this style of exhaust would potentially be divisive in the community, as Stuart Fillingham has experienced. But like him, I remember the 80s very well, and when bikers needed to replace their rusted away or damaged exhausts, or just want more volume, an industry was born to produce relatively inexpensive aftermarket alternatives. Yoshimura was the holy grail in that regard, but I am looking at a budget option that will at least go some way to offering a viable alternative that's both inexpensive and budget conscious at the same time, hence the excellent 300mm traditional exhaust complete with link pipe, all fittings and a removable DB killer, all for less than £130 delivered to your door. For those that are concerned, and I'm not, these exhausts are not strictly compliant with regulations in the UK, and you would need to verify with your country's laws to check this before buying from abroad. Heat shields. These heat shields are attached to rubber shrouded clips in the main exhaust and catalytic converter. They can be quite tricky to remove, but as long as you take your time, do not rush it, and take care of them, you should not encounter any issues. Just make sure you protect the delicate matte black coating on the exhaust headers and the cat, as this is easily scratched. OEM exhaust removal. So be careful removing this bolt. It will obviously loosen the Jubilee clip. Don't unscrew it too far. You just need to loosen it as shown. When removing this hanger bolt, ensure you take the weight of the exhaust, as you don't want it to fall off and hit the deck. That being said, mine was on really tight. It's worth noting at this point that Honda use a graphite exhaust gasket, and these often come away with the exhaust and end up ripping as the old exhaust comes off. Thankfully, mine came off cleanly. I have heard that others that have tried this, the gasket has actually remained on the header pipe. If this is the case, you need to carefully remove it with a sharp knife or other implement, ensuring you do as little damage to it as possible, as you may need it later. Failing this, order a new one from your Honda main dealer and keep it as spare. Protect your swinging arm and that delicate OEM exhaust. I use a microfiber cloth as shown. Just be careful not to rush this process. This is quite a lengthy process, as you have to carefully line up the link pipe with the exhaust, and I found the best way to do this was to place the link pipe into the exhaust and line both up at the same time. By doing it this way, you avoid the link pipe changing orientation midway through adjusting the position of the muffler. It is a little tricky and there is plenty of trial and error, but be patient and don't rush it. So, hanger bracket. At this point, and just before you get the positioning finalised for the link pipe and exhaust, you will need to attach the hanger bracket extension as shown. You just need to loosely fit this, don't tighten anything yet, keep it all loose until the end. Exhaust paste. The link pipe has such a tight fit, I almost don't need it. The fit is also very tight in the exhaust side, so I will not at this point bother with the paste on the exhaust, but I will smear a small amount on the link pipe to ensure this makes a perfect seal. Just make sure you don't waste too much time, as this stuff goes off rapidly. So we've got to the point of installing the hanger assembly, and with it the final lining up of three things: the hanger assembly, the link pipe and the exhaust. Take great care to ensure you get the right angle for the exhaust without fouling the rear shock absorber securing bolt and the DB killer and end cap pointing perpendicular to the ground. This can take quite a while getting this right, but stick with it. Finally, start to tighten up the Jubilee clamps and main hanger bracket and assembly bolts. Final assembly. At this point we are double checking space between the exhaust and the rear shock is sufficient, as well as lining up everything and tightening the Jubilee clamps and hanger assembly. And lastly, we'll reinstall the catalytic converter heat shield with the original fastener. Cleaning. It's critically important that you wipe all grease and finger marks off the installation, as heat will make the marks very difficult to remove later on. You can use an alcohol rub or methylated spirit using a microfiber cloth as shown. Well done, you did it. You now have a truly period correct style aftermarket exhaust. It should give you a little extra mid-range and will waken this little 350 up. You should find you can use gear changes earlier and the bike a little more eager in headwinds and uphill. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you liked it, please hit the like button, and if you want to see more content like this, please consider subscribing and hit that notifications bell to get the drop on new content. At the end of this video, I will demonstrate the differences in sound and compare between the stock and the new exhaust. Ta-ra for now.